If you had an opportunity to reverse the roles and put Troy Ave's shoes on that night, what would you have done during that incident, and how would you have handled things after?
When they did anything. I've seen him several times before that, and it's always been, yo, we need to not be beefing. There was never no beef. So I would usually dap him, and it'd be over. What happened was that, every time this happened, he would renege on his side of the deal. So the thing was that I felt like I went about it wrong because instead of me exploiting the things he was doing, I would just joke on him, but and on the internet. So it'd just make it look like I just woke up joking on him. But meanwhile, I just started joking on him because I just came from my barber shop and the barber is telling me that I can't come in there and get a haircut no more because niggas came and said they got money on me. You know what I mean? And I never said that shit on Twitter, but I get on Twitter and just be like, yo, this is whack ass music ass nigga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was my way of dealing with it. So in the outside looking in, it's like, oh, he just always dissing his music. But even if I was, nigga, so what? So what? You know what I mean? And just like I said, I've seen him several times, and there was a gap, and that was it. But when he got in a position to feel like he could get me, or he could get the best of me, he took advantage of it. You know what I mean? That's all it was. I seen this dude several times for that, and it was never nothing. So you know what I mean?
You think
That's
it
why I
was
was
an
like, I could
instance of
never
him
be
having
him.
people around that hyped him up?
Yeah. Well, he knew I was dead, and that was one of the things. Like someone called him and told him I was dead. Like I didn't realize it until like that night. Like when I read because when I when they came in, like he, I guess they seen me already because they was looking for me, and he's like, so he screamed out like it was popping, and then I looked back and I'm like, oh shit, and I said it was popping back. As soon as I said it was popping, they rushed me. I got hit with a gun. I seen it coming down, and I'm like, oh shit. But it was like too late, so I got hit like right in the middle of my forehead with the gun. And then as soon as I got hit with the gun, somebody feed me from behind. And this is when I realized that he had somebody else in the wing. Because I'm like, who the hell was behind me that would have feed me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they came from the front. So who the fuck was behind me? You know what I mean? So after I spoke to one of the dudes that was in this group, that's when he told me, like, nah, nah, niggas that called and said you was dead. And he already wasn't going because he was having our own little event. He wasn't going to go because we supposed to link up with T.I. the next day in the studio. And then once niggas said you was dead, he knew he said something about it, but then niggas hesitated on going. And then he was like, yo, fuck that, we going. And then they ended up going. And they was like waiting for other people to like come to the city to go with them or whatever. And then they went, you know. So he went for the problem. It wasn't me. He came in there with PNB Rock. PNB Rock was on the bill. He wasn't on the bill. If I seen him on the bill, I wouldn't have went. You get what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
would avoid him. I always avoided him. Like I wasn't actually looking for the issue. I know how to look for an issue, but I wasn't looking for it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he just flipped the whole shit around and just made it seem like I came looking for him. Like anybody from New York is gonna say, why would a Brooklyn rapper go looking for a nigga on 14th Street? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense. Like you do shows in Flatbush or Utica, like I would go look for you over there if I was looking for you. You know what I mean? But this dude, the thing is that when you cooperate with the government, they don't give a fuck which way it go. They just want a conviction. So that's what happened. That was it. They just needed a conviction. Either close this case, they've been lingering too long. All right, we had nothing. You gotta remember, I was on the street a year after this shit happened. You know what I mean? They had no evidence. So the only thing that got me arrested was his mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like when people say, "Oh, they had this on you and they had that," it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Or they had him. That's it. This dude didn't want to go to jail for shooting. He didn't want to go to jail for the 3 guns he bought. So he cooperated against me. That's it. He never was charged with shooting his friend. Like he made all of this shit up for the sake of, a theatrical story. And all this shit could have been looked up. Instead of niggas just looking up in the computer what he's arrested for, they like, yo, imagine they charged you with killing your best friend. He never was charged with that. But that was the narrative he put out so people could believe in his fibs, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So the story is that you murdered his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that because from what I know, that's how everything went down. That's the whole story. And obviously, I'm learning through you right now. Again, I kind of like
Yeah, well,
as
that's
fucked
not
up
what
as
was
it
there.
sounds. Look, as fucked up as it sounds. I'm somebody that is. I'm somebody that's historically known as a side picker, right? Like if I fuck with somebody, I listen to their story, and it's my people. I'm gonna go with that.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm talking to somebody, and again, I don't know you from a can of paint. I'm just listening to your
But
story.
just
I
like
can
I
tell you're
said, right?
authentic. Go ahead.
Put yourself in his shoes, right? I want you to live his story. Whatever
Right.
his story is that he said, right? And then tell me that all your friends that you with stop dealing with you the very next day. Why would your friends stop fucking with you? Y'all just went through some traumatic shit together. Your friend just died. You just got shot. It was a crazy night.
Word. That shit makes everything look different. Everything.
Why? Do you think all your friends will leave you? Or would y'all be
Nah, hell
closer?
nah. So some shit, obviously, some shit went down that you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah, so this is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, it's something that is not being said. You know what I mean? And he lives off that. If you really look at articles of his family talking, you'll understand it. They'll tell you Banger did not fuck with that dude. Like he left him in jail. That dude was in jail from Thanksgiving to April, $7,000 bail. And when he heard that me and Mano was gonna bail him out of jail, he ran to go do it because we was just bailing him out to as a joke on him.
wow. What happens if you had the opportunity to run into Troy Ave today? Because I did tell you about the story of how these two ran into one another, and it was just a simple exchange. Like, you know what the fuck it is. You know what I mean? What do you feel like would happen if you had the opportunity to run into Troy Ave today?
If I had the opportunity to run into Troy Ave, I would call the cops on that nigga. Go get that nigga arrested. That's what I would do. I would do everything that he accused me of doing. That's what
Damn.
I would do then.
I definitely didn't
Because,
expect that answer. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, of course he did. These are my true feelings. How I feel about people like that. See, the thing is this, it's like, you got civilians on your block. You got old ladies, old men, you know what I mean? They're not into the street. So, you be respectful to the people. You let them know that they're comfortable where they live at. The moment you feel you make these people feel uncomfortable, they have a revenge factor. Now, their revenge factor might not be street justice. So, they call the cops or, they call the landlord on you, whatever the fuck it might be, right?
Yeah.
But in this case, you have a dude that's outside shooting people, outside paying people to get shot, and then he calls the cops. The only way to win with a dude like that is by calling the cops on him and making sure that you get your complaint in first. You understand?
Yeah.
Because he's gonna do whatever he wants to do with you on both spectrums. He's one of the most dangerous men alive. Like those are the most dangerous creatures. Those are the creatures that's gonna tell you that we playing by these rules, but that he's cheating the whole time.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I'm literally the victim of a situation where nigga reversed the whole situation around on me. That's what I'm a victim of. You know what I mean? I'm a victim of a nigga perpetuating a personality, wearing a mask, and then conveniently taking it off when he feels like it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then trying to stand on it and make it seem like it's some real shit going on. You know what I mean? Trying to make it seem like it's some genuine shit going on. That's why I said it's up to y'all to go read the articles that his sister is talking to the media and they talking about everything. And she's like, Mama didn't even want to be with him that night. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta, so, just like I said, when you tell the story 1,000 times, it starts to become the truth in many people's minds. So this is why you got people like Flacco who talk out of his mouth. But see, what I was trying to explain to Flacco was this. I said, Flacco, you're very opinionated. Somebody else that you're talking about is very opinionated. Me. Now, see, the thing is that you might have not had the chance to run into some of these people that you've had opinions about. And in our culture, Just like I told you, people don't like to debate and people don't know how to debate. And when they don't know how to get their point across verbally, they want to get their point across physically. So when you see these people and they decide to get their point across physically to you because they didn't like that you had too many words about them, now we got to see who Flacco is. Now it's, does Flacco take the punishment? Does he get beat up? Or does he get shot and killed and die? Or does he get stabbed? But the point is that you're going to get put in a position where you're going to have to protect yourself because of your mouth. So before you judge me, make sure that you're not me. So what I explained to this fat dude was I was like, you're me and you don't realize it. You should never be siding with the rappers. You shouldn't side with them. You me. You got a platform. You talking about dudes' music. You talking about stupid shit they did, good shit they did. And guess what? Somebody's not gonna like when you said they did something stupid. Somebody's not gonna like when you said that their music was corny. And they might want to fight you, or they might want to pistol with you or get a moment off you on the internet, go viral, or they might want to shoot you. And now we got to see who you are. So before you say I'm dumb, I want to see you get into my position first. So that's how that goes for every man who has an opinion, a strong opinion about everyone.
Word, that's
See
real.
who you are.
That's real.